Neil Martin, what are your three top tips to be a successful letting and estate agency in the 21st century? Talk to me.
I'm going to go slightly further than that, Chris, and say what are my three essentials to running a business?
Go for it.
Because I don't think it matters what industry you're in, what business you're in, the same three things apply, okay? And those three things are really simple: culture, conversation, consistency. So let me break them down for
The
you.
three C's.
Absolutely. Let me break them down for you. First one, culture. Like, what do you stand for? You know, what are your values?
This is your why, as Simon Sinek would say.
Kind of. I mean, I I have an interesting view. I love Simon Sinek's book and his work, but I also have this view that so many people now are getting hung up on start with why. I think you should also start with where. As in, where am I now versus where I'm trying to get to?
Go on.
And if we look at culture, for me, culture breaks down into three things primarily. So you've had your three C's, these are three V's that sit inside there, okay? And those are, what are your values, what's your vision, and what are your victories? Because the victories you have on the journey are the fuel that give you momentum and keep you moving forward.
Yes.
Okay, so set the big vision of what you're trying to achieve and make sure that everybody that's working with you understands it. Get really clear on what your values are, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. Mm-hmm. Build a culture around that. Attract people around those two things. Okay, and if they don't fit in with the vision and the values, they shouldn't be there. Now, we talked about A, B, and C clients. Same thing applies. Somebody might be a B and coachable into an A, but if they really, really don't fit, get rid, right? And I know that can seem harsh, but it will stop you getting from where you want to get to. But the other big thing for me in that is your victories. Like, what are all the small wins? Because if you can celebrate your small wins, you are going to massively accelerate your results.
It's interesting. My business coach, John Cottrell, says that the journey's up a mountain, and we always start looking up the mountain. We never look back and actually see how far we've come.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. One of my, I mean, I want to make sure we've got time to jump into the other two C's, but one of my big things on this is something I've been doing for a number of years now. Is at the end of every single day, I take inventory of my day. So before I go to bed, I sit down with a notebook and a pen, and I've made a bit of a ritual of this. So I've got a fancy notebook, and I've got, you know, Mont Blanc pen, and it's special, right? Because it makes me feel special doing it. That's why I've done it. But I sit down at the end of every single day, I take inventory of my day, and I write down a minimum of 3 things I'm grateful for in that day. And if you're grateful for something, it's a success, right? Mm-hmm. So you're basically celebrating at least 3 moments that happen every single day. What do you think that does? It focuses your mind to look for those things.
Gratitude.
Yeah, exactly. And if you focus your mind to look for things to be grateful for, are you going to spend more time being grateful?
Of course you are.
Right? So it's as simple as that. And, you know, like, not wanting to, you know, like blow smoke up your ass, but the fact that we're sitting here doing this means this is going to almost certainly be in that journal tonight,
Excellent.
Right?
Yep.
You know?
And we've got a prop show advert to do as the waiter, so that'll be your second one.
Okay, cool. But, you know, for me, that celebrating the success is so key. The other 2 points, let's get onto those quickly. Conversation. Why do I say conversation, not communication? Because everyone says, you know, if a relationship fails, it's normally due to bad communication, or if we're not marketing well enough, it's normally because we're not communicating effectively. So I could very easily have said communication. It also begins with the letter C. But why conversation? Because we live in a world where everything's immediate.
Yes.
If I put a post out on Facebook, you can respond to it as soon as that thing's live. If I put something on Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, it's not like the old school days where I worked out an ad, it went through all these kind of processes, it went to print, and maybe 2-3 months after I'd come up with the idea, it exists, and it might be 2 or 3 months before I even know whether that thing's worked.
Yes.
We don't have that anymore. We have immediacy.
Now, isn't it?
Yeah. The other thing we have as a result of all of this modern technology is the ability to listen to other people. And conversation is a two-way thing. Right, so sales, marketing, customer service, all that stuff. It's not just about what you put out; it's about what's coming back the other way. And are you actually giving it your attention?
Well, that's the beauty of social media, isn't it?
100%. And reviews and all this kind of stuff. But how much time are you spending actually looking at that and responding to that and keeping that conversation going?
It's what Gary Vaynerchuk says.
It's the right thing to do. You know, it's the right thing to do. And then the other bit's consistency. Because I don't give a damn if you go out and spend £250,000 on an amazing ad campaign and run it once. That ain't going to get you a result. It's the little things you do day in, day out. It's the things that you turn into rituals. In fact, I like to say your rituals create your results. So, you know, what can you turn into a ritual that you do on a daily, weekly, monthly
Because
basis?
there's so many agents out there that panic and then throw money at something and it doesn't work.
It's the end of the month, we haven't done enough listings. Yeah, exactly.
It is the drip, 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 just consistent. Because I think a lot of agents react too much to what their competition are doing, when in reality, if you just keep dripping your consistent message out.
Exactly.
It's the same with video. It's better to actually... I mean, another video is perfectionism amongst letting agents. It just winds me up. Just keep dripping it out. Better to get it done.
100%. 100%.
Done beats perfect.
Yeah, I mean, that's my tagline as a speaker, right? It's done beats perfect. I put it everywhere. I say it all the time. I've done breaks down into an acronym. We can do that in another video if you want.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, for me, it is absolutely critical that you take action and you take it on a consistent basis and you get good at something by doing it, not by like learning it and never applying it, right? You know, it's the implementation that gets you the results.
Thank you.